Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy. Headed to the gym in the 2019 Volkswagen GTI Rabbit Edition. It's been a rainy day. Actually, it's been a rainy 2 days here in Southwest Virginia, so not really a good day to go out and drive very fast. So, thought I'd go down to the gym, and on the way there, do a quick little rant about something that may be of interest to people who are contemplating buying a used car at some point in the near future. I think it's actually a very good time to start thinking about buying a new car, or used car, I should say, and I'll tell you why. First of all, some of you may have caught my article the other day about the sudden uptick in delinquencies on car loans, and in particular subprime loans on used cars, which have increased by about 50%, in particular among younger buyers in the demographic of 18 to about 35, so the millennial cohort. But anyway, there's that little fact nugget, and then there's the other nugget that delinquencies generally are up across the spectrum. So you're going to see a lot of repos in the near future. You're probably seeing them right now. And those cars are going to become available on the used car market, and probably there'll be a downtick in values or prices, or transaction prices at any rate, simply because there'll be more supply and the demand for them is not that high right now. Now, the next factor that's going to come into play here, which isn't being talked about very much, but I'll talk about it because that seems to be my gig these days, is that we're very close to reaching kind of an event horizon of cost complexity with new cars that are being encrusted with just a baffling and bewildering array of technology to comply with all the government edicts, and also because a lot of people really feel they have to have these things like automated emergency braking, lane keep assist, steer assist, yada yada yada. Well, those things tend not to have a very long shelf life, and the result is that a car becomes economically tenuous to repair after a certain point. And then you have the electric car phenomenon. The electric cars being forced down our throats. So you've got these disposable recent vintage cars that really aren't going to be very economical to repair. Okay, bear that in mind. Then you've got this push to electrification, and it is a push. It's not something that's organic, that's coming from the market, from the grassroots. It's being forced on us by regulations. About 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's going to be very hard probably to find a car that isn't at least a hybrid, if not an outright electric car. So what does that all portend for the value of used cars that are not very recent cars, but also are not electric cars? The value of those things is going to go up, I think, in the years ahead. In fact, I think they're going to get very expensive. And in particular, the cars that were made in the early to mid 2000s, which are fully modern cars in all the meaningful ways that people really care about in terms of durability, reliability, all of those things. And they have most of the technology that most people want without being over the top. But once you get to around 2013, 14, 15, and today, you get to that point where you have these cars with very, very, very expensive systems, which after they're out of warranty may be simply too expensive to fix. And so their value is going to plummet. They're going to depreciate quickly, and they'll be available, but I would not recommend buying one. You don't want to buy a $12,000 car that's going to need a $4,000 or $5,000 transmission, let's say, or some elaborate complex electronic system, or a turbo, or something of that magnitude. I think there's going to be a real rush toward those early 2000s cars once people realize that the new stuff that's available isn't what they want, and they're never going to build stuff like the early 2000 cars again. So there's a limited supply, and there's going to be an increase in demand. That's my theory. So I think that if you're in the market, if you're thinking about a used car, now's a really good time to get out there and snatch one up. And then, if you can, try not to drive it too much. Keep it around, because I think things are going to get really crazy in the car business over the next few years as this electric car dementia sorts itself out, and as the carbon dioxide emissions thing blossoms into its full ugliness. It's going to, as they say, as the people on the left like to say, radically transform the landscape. And I don't think it's going to do it in a very positive way for you and I and most normal people who cannot afford to spend $50 or $60 or $70,000 on an electric car, and who don't want to wait around for 30 to 45 minutes every other day while the thing tries to recharge itself. So anyway, I'll have more on this up at epautos.com shortly. You might be interested in my write-up about the Lincoln Navigator, which was posted this morning. And there's a couple of other articles up there also about our good friend Elon Musk and Tesla that may be of interest. So please stop by and check it out. And thanks for viewing, and we will catch up with you again soon.